YouTube channel. Of all the things that you could do with your time, I mean, there's 1.5 million things that you could be doing right now. You decide to start a YouTube channel. Unbelievable. What a waste of time. And for college football at that. Oh, that's original. Let's start a YouTube channel for college football, because there's not already enough opinions out there. Maybe they won't care. Maybe no one will even watch. Maybe nobody will even watch. I mean, maybe this will just be one of those things you do, and just people they just right over it. They don't care. I mean, they probably won't care. I'm funny, right? Right? I mean, I'm funny. I mean, I have interesting things to say. People like me. Some people like me. I mean, right? Alright, you know what? Let's try it again. Let's just start over. Start fresh. You know? I mean, we decided we were going to do this. This was something we wanted to do, right? Alright, let's just start over. Mother God idiot.
Point you made, not all dives are created equal. They're going to have him throw the ball downfield, intercepted. And they tried to get fancy, and that was not a good pass. Van Smith picks it off, and Paul Johnson cannot.
Just about what you'd expect from Clemson this week. Georgia Tech comes into this game 3-0 as well as Clemson, and you would think it would be a tighter game. Georgia Tech just never really got started this week. But welcome, guys. We're going to start this week's top 25 picks with USC versus Utah, and work our way all the way to Alabama and Kent State. Let's get started. USC versus Utah. Utah is definitely the favorite in this game. I have Utah by 7. USC is changing up quarterbacks this week to redshirt freshman Sam Darnold. Really in hopes to get an offense just up and moving that has really just been lackluster over the first 3 weeks of play. USC is 1-2 going into this game, and they are hoping to turn things around. I don't see it. I got Utah by 7. Ole Miss and Georgia. Interesting pick this week. Georgia coming in ranked at number 12 and Ole Miss coming in at 23. What's interesting about this matchup to me is that Ole Miss is picked to win. I mean, despite being just horrible in the second half of games this year. Georgia, on the other hand, when Nick Chubb gets dialed in, I mean, he is dialed in. And I really do expect Georgia to have a great game this game. I am going to go with Georgia. I'm going to go with Georgia by 10. Even though they're not favored, I see them being the more complete team this year. Nebraska coming in at number 20 up against unranked Northwestern. I don't have much to say about this game, to be honest. Nebraska is my favorite to win the Big Ten West this year. And that is an open Big Ten West. And you got Iowa, you've got Nebraska, you've got a couple teams there that are battling back and forth. A lot of people think Iowa's going to be the better team this year. I have Nebraska in my Big Ten championship this year against, of course, Ohio State. But nevertheless, I do have Nebraska covering the spread in this game. Tennessee and Florida. Tennessee comes in ranked 14th and Florida 19th to this matchup. Florida has an active win streak of 11 games against Tennessee. I mean, that's big. That's huge. But Tennessee, honestly, has got off to a great start this year, and they have the fan base to back it up. I mean, literally, I have watched multiple games for Tennessee, and their fan base is involved, and they really believe this is their year to shine. I have Tennessee in this game by 7. LSU versus Auburn. Auburn really getting off to a rough start this year. I mean, same with LSU. LSU is making changes this week on the offense with Purdue transfer Danny Etling at quarterback. If he can throw the long ball and keep that Auburn defense honest, I do see Leonard Fournette having his best game this year. I got LSU by 7 in this game. Arkansas versus Texas A&M. I got Arkansas by 3 in this game. The Aggies gave up 236 rushing yards last week to Auburn. I mean, Raleigh Williams should be able to keep the Texas A&M offense off the field by extending drives and getting those crucial third downs. Baylor and Oklahoma State. I've got Baylor covering the spread at 8.5 this week on this game. Baylor's defense really is the story to be told in this game. I mean, they already have 28 tackles for a loss and 4 forced fumbles. I mean, Could compound that on top of the fact that the Cowboys secondary is just absolutely soft. So I really see Baylor taking off with this game. Florida State versus South Florida. Here's my thing with this game. Can Florida State recover from a humiliating loss? I mean, last week's loss to Louisville, really was the test for Louisville. Okay, we all knew Florida State was a decent team coming into that game. But that loss was just absolutely horrible. Florida State looked awful, 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 awful. They looked nothing like the high-flying offense against Ole Miss at the beginning of this year. I do have Florida State winning this game. I don't see Florida State losing to South Florida, but I have it as a nail-biter by 3. This is definitely a contender for one of the best games of the week to watch. Michigan State versus Wisconsin. Interesting game because I have Wisconsin winning. Yes, I have Wisconsin picked to win this game. Michigan State is definitely the favorite in this game, but honestly, when Wisconsin's defense is just fired up, they can go toe-to-toe with any team in the country. Any team. Any team. It's really a toss-up between these two teams. I really think it's going to be a defensive game, but I do have Wisconsin pulling it out by 3. Number 9, Washington versus Arizona. Sorry, Tommy. Arizona looks flat out bad this year. Washington, definitely the favorite to win this game. I've got Washington by 23. Stanford versus UCLA. I've got Stanford by 10 in this game. And there's one name, Christian McCaffrey. He put up over 200 all-purpose yards against USC last week, and I see him doing the same this week. Houston versus Texas State. Really? Houston by 83. Michigan versus Penn State. I got Michigan by 17 in this game. Everybody expects Michigan to destroy Penn State, and the Wolverines have been susceptible to big plays. So I do see Penn State putting some points on the board, but with 12 fumbles already in the first 3 games of the season, it's not a good look for Penn State. And we're down to the last 2 teams. Well, the last 2 matchups, if you will. Ohio State is off this week. Had to throw that in there. They are on a bye week. Louisville and Marshall, and Alabama and Kent State. There's not really much to say. Both of these games have spreads over 35 points. It's lights out football for both of these teams. But saying that, I really do want to see Alabama's offense really just try to move the ball a little more. They really have struggled on offense to and fro and out of the last 3 games. But even last week, watching them last week, it was like they never fully got started until the second half. And I really am looking to see that magical Alabama offense come out. That's it for Authenticated this week. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to have some more videos for you guys throughout the next couple weeks. We're also going to be having comparison videos. So for all my picks that I give you on Thursday or Friday nights every week, I'm also going to be coming out with a video on Monday or Tuesday that will give you all of my results for those picks and just highlights from all the games. Leave some comments down in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys want to see. There's a lot of different things that we can do with this kind of channel. I'd love to have some people come on. So if you guys are looking to come sit in this chair right here and talk with me and talk football, I'd love to have you guys on the show. Let me know. And until then, I'll see you next week. That was horrible. Wasn't it? How many? We had probably 50 takes. Horrible. That was horrible. Awful.